I have Sunday here, 10 months old, one of my puppies from Blue and Storm. He's staying with me for a week. He came to the reunion yesterday, and his family left him here with me for a week. They're having a little vacation, and Sunday's having a training vacation week here with us. And he's stayed with us before. He stayed with us over the summer, so I got to know him pretty good. And he's 10 months old now, neutered, and he is what I would consider a high drive dog. He has a lot of drive, and he has a lot of confidence in himself, and he has his opinions, which he is very happy to express through barking. And he's been really misunderstood by trainers in his past. When he was a little puppy, he went to a puppy class, and they let all of the other puppies play, and they never let him play with the other puppies, the instructor, because he barked. He wasn't allowed to play because he barked. And so he spent all these weeks in this puppy class being really super frustrated and really emotionally tortured by this trainer who would make him watch the other puppies play and wouldn't allow him to play. So he has a lot of frustration and anxiety about when he sees other dogs that he can't get to. He wants to go be with them, and he just starts barking, because what happened was the trainer, and I think the trainer needs to find a different line of work, conditioned a response in this dog. Now, we all like to condition responses in our dogs, but what they did was they conditioned a poor response in this dog. That when this dog sees other dogs, he gets... Now, he's not barking today, but he had a couple hours of hard play at the reunion yesterday. He barked his head off when he got here, and I told him, just let him off the leash. He was lunging and barking. See, people see that. They think that's aggression. He was lunging and barking. I said, just let him off the leash. Well, as soon as you let him off the leash, he's fine. The lunging and barking is the frustration that he has been conditioned to experience when he is on a leash around other dogs or other people. So, he's off camera right now. Let me get him over here. He's trying to play with Shelby. Let me get him up in here. See, he's just a very playful, high drive puppy, 10 months old, who needs his mind and body worked. And he needs a lot of, structure in his life. And his owners are working very hard to do the right thing, but they're having trouble finding the kind of trainers that they need where they live, up in Maryland. So, anyhow, back to conditioning a response. You have to be very careful, because a lot of people think you can only condition a positive response, and you can easily condition a negative response. And that's what these trainers did, is they taught him to, I hope you can see him. He's trying to play with Matt. They taught him to bark his brains out and be frustrated and pull on the leash. So when his owners walk him, he's just scanning for something to bark at and something to pull towards. And they're kind of at a loss as to what to do. So while I'm working with him this week, I'm going to give him just some subtle, subliminal corrections. Now, he's wearing a slip lead harness. See that? I hope you can. I gave him 2 corrections, and this is what I got. So he has a harness made out of a slip lead on him. Now see, he started moving towards me there. So I can't choke him with this. But what I'm going to do when he's looking and scanning, there we go. Hello, yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just giving him little tiny leash corrections. It's like a tap on the shoulder. And I have him out with all my other dogs because I want him to be distracted. Okay? This is not the kind of dog I would train in an undistracted environment. This is the kind of dog that I'm going to train. Now I don't mind, okay, now I'm just going to pop him off. Now see the difference? Immediately. Okay, I'm reconditioning this dog. Now, last summer I did this with him, and he's remembering it. I'm not going to use food. A dog like this could care less about food. He wants these other dogs, and what I want him to understand is that he gets to have these other dogs. He gets to play with them, he gets to interact with them, he gets to socialize with them, but when I need him to do something, what a good boy. When I need him to do something, I'm going to ask him to do it. And what will happen is he will get more and more tuned in to what I want. I'm going to step away. He's going to get more and more tuned in to what I want and less concerned with the environment. And this is all done with leash correction. He does not have a choke. It goes underneath his arm. I put it around his neck and under one arm. So if I give him a little correction, there's no choke. So right now, I just want him to pay attention to me. If I change direction, I want him to think about me changing direction. I give him a little pop. If he starts getting in with the dogs, a little pop. My dogs are helpful. They know what I need. My pack knows exactly what I need all the time. I'll stop. We'll see what he does. Storm. That's a little too much of what I need right now. Hey. Okay, back them off. I want him to feel safe. Okay, he started to go with him, but look what he did. He changed his mind, and he looked up at me. Now, there's absolutely no reason to force this dog. You know, one of the things that they've been doing is pushing him down to the floor. I don't want to push him down to the floor. You can push his body to the floor, but you're sure not going to push his mind to the floor. And if I'm in a high level of anxiety and you push me to the floor, well, you know, there's a good chance I just might bite you. And as this dog gets older, if you take him in a high anxiety situation and you push him to the floor, well, he just might bite you. And that's not helping him to control his storm, control his anxiety. What it's doing is it's making him more anxious, because what he's hating and trying to get away from is the restraint that the first trainer really messed up this dog during his imprint period. And so when you try to force him to the floor and push him down and dominate him, that's not what is going to help this dog. What's going to help this dog is more freedom within the parameters. Storm, I've had it with you. Within the parameters, see what Storm's trying to do is calm him down and tell him to knock it off. Storm's getting all strong and big over the top of him. And, that's a little bit more than what I need right now. Storm's his dad. Storm wants his son to straighten up. But I'm letting Sunday figure this out. He has a loose leash. Okay? See, there we go. He's so interested in, there we go. See, he's aware of what I'm doing. He's still scanning a little bit. There's a baby. There's a baby. There's a baby. Scratch him a little bit. I don't like him. I don't want him to go over on his back. I don't like him to do that. Okay. Now, I'm just going to stand here. What I'm trying to teach this dog is to read me and figure. See, he's paying attention to Matt. Okay, I'll let him go sniff Matt a little bit. I want him to know that he is not going to be constantly held back from everything. When they hold him back, he barks his brains out. That's a good baby. That's a good baby. And they said last time I fixed it, he was good for 2 days, And then he went right back to it. Well, it's because there's no follow through from the owners, and also it takes a long time to condition a response. We're going to get back to that. I'm trying to condition this dog to check with me. He can look at the environment, but he has to check with me. I want to condition him to check with me. So I'll stand here. I hope you can see us. I'm going to stand here until he looks up at me. Let him look around. And if he was to bark, I would reach down and probably poke him in the hip. Or for me, I would grab his tail, which if the owners did that, I mean, if you're afraid your dog will bite you, if you grab the tail, then don't do it, because he'll probably spin on me, but at least he'll look at me. See that? There it is. Yay! What a good boy. Okay, so I'm not using food. Food is useless in training a dog to, stop being so leash reactive. He was conditioned to be leash reactive, and now I'm conditioning him to not be leash reactive, and I'm also conditioning him to check in with me once in a while. I'm just going to wait. And so you have to be real patient when you're teaching this kind of thing. See that yawn? That's not because he's tired. That's stress. That's stress. He's trying to process everything that's going on. Okay, I'm going to wait till he looks at me, acknowledges me. Yeah, Barkley says, I'm looking at you. But see, he's looking off at a border collie that's 300 feet away. He is not real interested in me because I'm not a significant part of the environment for him right now. There, good boy. Good boy. Okay, so now let him move, let him walk. So dogs have what's called opposition reflex. So when I grab his tail, he spins around. He's coming into that pressure. He wants to see what is going on, why I'm doing that. And when he looks at me, then I let him walk. Now he's scanning off, so what I'll also do is change direction a lot. There. See, he looked up at me like, what in the world are we doing? Hey. Okay? This dog has been conditioned to have anxiety and stress. There. Good. Yeah. When he's on the leash. And, his owners are trying really hard, but they're having trouble finding a trainer that knows what they're doing. And see him looking, I should have acknowledged he checked in with me right there. There, it's a good baby. No food, people. What he's learning is if he checks in with me once in a while, then he gets what he wants, which means he can go see the other dogs. He can't tighten the leash though. Okay, there are rules to this. He can't pull my arm out there. Okay, but he's got a lot of loose leash. He can look around a little bit. And he'll start checking in more and more with me because we're becoming a team in him being able to get out and socialize. And his barking would absolutely not be tolerated, but he's not doing it. Okay, I want him to look at me so we can move our feet. Good. There you go. Hey. Storm, you need to go. Thank you. All right. Storm is a little concerned about his emotional state, so he's staying right here. All right. I'm going to walk a little bit. I'm going to give him a lot of line, and then I'm going to pop him back to me. Very good. Yeah. Now see him looking up, I hope. I hope you can see this. I hope he's on camera. Looking up. All right. I'm going to walk. So see what I'm doing, there we go, is engaging his brain instead of him just running around like a chicken. Well, I shouldn't say that. One of our chickens got his head popped off the other day by one of the Eskimos. He's just, they go out the door with him on the leash, and they are an insignificant. They're not even there as far as he's concerned. They're just a stick to drag around. They're just a log that he's dragging around to try to get to the other dog. So what I'm trying to do is make sense in the way a dog thinks. Dog thinks, okay, I have a leader now who is giving me direction. And boy, do I need that, because when I don't have that, I get a little crazy. Yeah, I get a little left of center there, don't I? Right, Matt? So I'm trying to condition a response in this dog, counter condition what that trainer did, and condition this dog to think about what I want, think about what I'm doing, think about, good. I don't care if he sits, but that sit is a commitment to the stop. Okay, people artificially create that with commands. They teach the dog to sit. They teach the dog to down, but the dog isn't really mentally doing it. When the dog offers it is when he's mentally with you. It's when he's mentally there, when he's mentally paying attention. Now see that? Yeah, and that's with no food. And I'm also giving him the reassurance that he needs, that these dogs aren't going to bother him. He's starting to see that I'm the boss of these other dogs. Okay. All right. Now see, I slowed way down. And see him check with me when I slowed. You're all right. Somebody, see, you can tell he's been pushed to the floor. I don't want a dog that cowers. I'm going to scratch him on the chest to get his confidence up. I'm never going to, I have never forced a dog to the floor. I have never scruffed a dog. Now see, like Buzz over there and Storm. Hey boys, knock it off. Hey, Buzz, knock it off. Storm, knock it off. I know for a fact that Buzz was scruffed in a past life, and I would never do that to him. It took him 6 weeks to trust me. When my hands go on a dog, it's always with praise. It's never with punishment. Scruffing a dog, shoving a dog to the floor, that's humiliating to the dog. I want the dog to see my hands as a love, the channel between me and the dog, giving love. And shoving a dog to the floor or scruffing it is just teaching it to distrust you. And it also knows that you don't know what kind of mental state the dog is in. You've got to understand the mental state of your dog, and you have to work with that. You have to let him know, yeah, I see. Is that your son, Storm? That you have to let him know, yeah, I see that you're anxious, I see that you're frustrated, but here's what I need you to do right now. And then the dog appreciates that. It helps the dog to calm down, helps to relieve his anxiety, helps him to trust you, it helps him to accept your leadership. But getting back to conditioning a response, the reason that when they took him home last time he was good for 2 days and then he went back to the old, hey, Matt, don't even pee on my camera, thank you, is because this response was not conditioned yet. It takes hundreds of repetitions to condition a response. So when he got home, he did it until he realized that he wasn't getting any reinforcement for it. He wasn't getting any encouragement. He wasn't getting any understanding. And so he went right back to his old ways. So when you condition a response, it takes a lot of repetition in a lot of different places. And when you're counter-conditioning a response, which that really lousy trainer ruined this poor little puppy, it's very fixable, by cruelly making him watch the other puppies play while he barked. And so they created a response in him where he pulls and barks. So I have to counter-condition that, which is going to take another 1,000,000 repetitions. So we're having to counter-condition that and condition this response. So people who think that if they go in their backyard and teach their dog to walk on the leash for a week, that that dog is conditioned. It is not. It is going to take months, maybe a year, to get to where someone like Nikita is, where she is perfect on the leash. Perfect on the leash. But see how now he is stopping when I stop. Okay. Gave him a little correction. When I move off, he needs to pay attention to that. And I'm not calling him. I'm not using his name. I'm not begging him to come. He has to listen for my footfall. He has to pay. Look, this is a sheepdog. This dog is bred to read everything in the environment and read the movement of other animals. So if I go like this, he should step off. He heard me do that. If I was a sheep, he would have known I was moving. This video might get a little bit long, but I've had so many people saying, well, you know, I did the leash training in my yard, but then when I go out, well, look, you're going to have to do it for a long time. And then you're going to have to go out somewhere and do it there and start it all over until you get that conditioned response. He's looking at Matt. See, he's not paying any attention to me at all. I'm going to correct that. There we go. There it is. Okay. There it is. Now see that? Attention. You don't need a treat for that. You don't need a toy for that. But see, this cowering down is from them slamming him to the floor. So some trainers told him to do that. We're never going to do that. We want him on his feet confident or sitting confidently. When my hand comes to him, I don't want him to cower. You know, I did a little segment on getting him out of the kennel, and he went over on his back and just peed. Okay, that tells me right there. First of all, he had to pee, but he was totally intimidated, rolled completely over on his back, and massive submissive urination. We don't want that either. You know, look at that. See? Oh, it's a good baby. All right, so if you have any questions about conditioning, counter conditioning, drop them in the comment box. We're going to be doing lots of videos of him this week. We're going to get on with our walk. Thanks for watching.